Some of you have posted some things. The fact that grief is not just for a death. Grief can be for estrangement, abandonment, divorce, other types of loss. Grief is a process that we go through whenever something major is taken from us beyond our control. Even sometimes if you lose a relationship and the person is still alive and it was your choice for whatever reason, you still may have to grieve that relationship. There's 5 stages of grief. There's disbelief, there's bargaining, there's anger, there's depression, and there's acceptance. See, I did remember from grad school, and that was quite a few years ago. Anyway, the 5 stages of grief. You may find yourself going from bargaining to depression to anger to bargaining again to disbelief again to anger again. There is no rhyme or reason to grief. There are stages, but grief does not go a course that we set for it. Grief goes its own course. So if you're struggling with grief, you need to give yourself time and patience. And you need to get the little therapy dog out of your office while you're doing podcasts so that she doesn't make noise. So you're going to give yourself a lot of grace. You're going to let yourself feel whatever comes up whenever it comes up. You're not going to beat yourself up about it taking too long. You're not going to wonder when it's going to end, because it will end. It will change. And you're not going to be feeling this forever. But it will take as much time as it takes. I can't give you a set time that grief will take. I can't give you a set pattern that grief will take. What I can tell you is that it's an important process, especially when we're talking about sexual abuse and family situations. My own personal situation, I have not spoken to my family in 8 years. I love them dearly, but I exposed the abuse in order to protect my niece, and it didn't go over well. I was called a liar and crazy, and if I'm out of the family, the problem goes away. So that's the route the family chose to take, and I no longer have access to my niece, so I don't know what's happening to her, but I do know that she's having stomach aches. Someone told me that she's been plagued with stomach aches, which is a classic sign that something's going on, that something's emotionally troubling this little girl. And that's exactly what I went through. I was hospitalized at 8 or 9 years old for stomach problems, the beginning of an ulcer, at 8 years old. And so I grieved that. For 2 years it was horrible. It was a horrible grief. But now it only pops up once in a while. It pops up maybe on a holiday, maybe on someone's birthday, maybe when I'm thinking about something I could share with them that I'm not able to. Things like that. But I've come to a place of acceptance, and when you get to that place, you usually stay there. You may get triggered once in a while, but you usually stay there. So I want to encourage you, if you're grieving, or if you think you might be grieving, give yourself a lot of grace. Do not beat yourself up. Do not say, why am I still here? Just let yourself feel. Find positive ways or positive outlets during this time too, because you don't want to just stay in the grief constantly. You need breaks from it. It gets overwhelming and you can fall into depression as well. There is such a thing as complicated grief, where you're not grieving in a progression that's healthy for you. And so we have to explore that. And if you need help with that, you can reach out to me. I'm more than happy to walk you through it. But grief is a bear, but it's one that those of us with sexual abuse issues know all too well, because we're grieving our childhood, we're grieving the loss of time, we're grieving years that were wasted and how we coped with the abuse. We're grieving a lot of things. So give yourself grace. And if you need to reach out to me. I am Linda Vitti, life coach and counselor, and I am the moderator of this group. Okay? Have a wonderful day, guys, and be great to yourselves. Okay? Take care.